Sunday in looking at the spiritual gifts. We'll conclude next Sunday on Pentecost Sunday. On the way, if you didn't see the announcement, I was in the bulletin, I saw in the newsletter. If you have something red that you can wear next Sunday, with it being Pentecost Sunday, we encourage you to do that. We're going to continue with the serving gifts this morning and conclude those serving gifts. The first two that I would share with you are fairly similar, very closely related, and these gifts are the spiritual gifts of helps and serving. Helps and serving. Although the gifts of helps and serving are separate, they're closely related, so we're going to look at them both together this morning. The gift of helps leads people to person-centered ministries, while the gift of serving equips one for task-oriented ministry. Now, neither of these gifts may seem on the surface to be particularly glamorous, but each of them provides an indispensable contribution to the life of the church. And these gifts do not normally function in a public way like the gifts of prophecy or teaching. Nevertheless, without their operation, the church could not function. Could not function. Generally speaking, persons who possess the gifts of helps are equipped by God to relieve temporal and spiritual burdens. The gift enables them to see the needs of others and respond willingly to the opportunity to minister. The gift of serving usually leads one to supply material and temporal services to the Christian community. In the book of Acts, prominent attention is given to those who serve. From Acts 6, chapter 6, verses 2 through 5, we find recorded that 12 summoned the body of disciples and said, "It is not right that we should give up preaching the word of God to serve tables. Therefore, brethren, pick out from among you 7 men of good repute, full of the Holy Spirit and wisdom, whom we may appoint to this duty." And what they said pleased the whole multitude, and they chose 7 to serve. The person who possesses the gift of serving will familiarize themselves with community needs and community resources, and their gift equips them to meet physical and material needs of others in a gracious and selfless manner. Many laypersons in the church possess the gifts of helps and serving, and numerous doors open and beckon to those who are endowed with these important gifts. The 2 more gifts that are closely related are administration and giving aid. There's a spiritual gift of administration and also one of giving aid. And these are 2 closely related ones. The term for the gift of administration comes from the Greek word meaning a pilot or a steersman. The gift of administration, the gift equips one to lead in matters of church organization and government. And the person possessing this gift is enabled to direct and organize a larger group of Christians so that each one of them is released to perform his or her ministry without the hindrance of disorganization. In other words, the person with administration, the gift of administration, organizes so that others are enabled to use their spiritual gifts to perform ministry. The root meaning of the Greek word for giving aid is he who stands before, and the best translation of the term is possibly he who takes leadership in giving aid. And the possession of this spiritual gift enables one to see the needs and then to assume leadership in the Christian community in giving aid to meet those needs. Fortunate is the church where the gifts of administration are in proper operation in our time. Our dislike of authoritarianism and our concern for democracy can cause us to overreact sometimes seek to function without proper leadership. A smoothly functioning body cannot operate without guidance. It's the duty of the members of the congregation to recognize the gift of administration, gratefully accept those with that leadership gift, and follow their spirit-filled administration. The person with the gift of administration must exercise the gift in love. One should never behave dogmatically or unkindly in dealing with others. Administrators should serve with humility and wisdom, always seeking to coordinate the gifts and ministries of others for the common good. Why? Because domination leads to agitation. Serve with humility and wisdom. The next gift is exhortation, and the word translated exhortation stems from the same root from which we get the word advocate or comforter. It's the same word that Jesus used to describe the Holy Spirit. And perhaps the best contemporary translation of the word is encouragement. A person with the gift of exhortation is an encourager. The gift of exhortation equips one for the ministry of calling forth the best that is in others. The gift enables one to help others to develop ways of growing spiritually. Persons often discover this gift within them when some others gravitate to them for encouragement, consolation, or guidance. The gift is usually exercised in private conversation. Naturally, God provides us with our ultimate source of strength, but we often use others to help us along the way. You'll do better the next time. And let's look at ways to improve our words of exhortation that have helped change lives for the better in countless instances. One possessing the gift of exhortation does not consider themselves as superior to others. The possession of this spiritual gift enables one to identify with another and feel deeply with them. The exhorter never dominates and respects the dignity and the integrity of those with whom they're working. The gift of exhortation renders one capable of viewing such serious problems as failures and persecutions as stepping stones to Christian growth. Those possessing the gift of exhortation move among us in their quiet ways, sowing seeds of hope and cultivating a harvest of maturing Christians. The next to the last of the serving gifts is the gift of giving. Giving. The gift of giving is like all spiritual gifts, a special enabling from God, given to some Christians for helping others. Of course, all Christians are called to be generous. But the gift of giving empowers one in a special way to understand the material needs of others and then to meet those needs generously. The gift of giving is a God-given capacity to give material to God's work so that others are helped in their lives and ministries. And this gift operates on a highly spiritual plane. Those that possessing the gift of giving contribute. Listen to this. They contribute with discrimination. Discrimination. They are not motivated by pity, fear, or pride. As part of their stewardship, they investigate the needs and they seek God's guidance in their giving. And sometimes with those folks with this gift appear frugal, because in meeting the needs of others, they do not spend more than is necessary on themselves. They often give anonymously, and their ministry frequently passes unnoticed by others. Those with the gift of giving find that as they give to the needs of others, they themselves become happy and fulfilled. The gift of giving produces a love burden that expresses itself in the sharing of one's resources freely in the service of God and others. Our last gift of service is the gift of compassion. I would share with you my reading, one of my devotional readings for this past week. In fact, it comes from May says, Jesus, the blessed child of God, is merciful. Showing mercy is different from having pity. Pity connotes distance, even looking down upon. When a beggar asks for money and you give him something out of pity, you're not showing mercy. Mercy comes from a compassionate heart. It comes from a desire to be an equal. Jesus didn't want to look down on us. He wanted to become one of us and feel deeply with us. When Jesus called the only son of the widow of Nain to life, he did so because he felt the deep sorrow of the grieving mother in his own heart. So he says, let us look at Jesus when we want to know how to show mercy to our brothers and sisters. It comes from Henry Nowell's book, Bread for the Journey, a daybook of wisdom and faith. Jesus places compassion high on the list of desirable qualities that should characterize all Christians. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Paul stressed the importance of compassion. Bear one another's burdens and fulfill the law of Christ. The gift of compassion transcends both natural human sympathy and normal Christian care. This gift stems from a special working of God's love deep within oneself. Christians possessing the gift of compassion both care and share. Even though secular welfare relieves some hardship, the Church of Jesus Christ remains the primary agency for mending broken human spirits and ministering to the physical needs of others. And that brings to mind Dawn and I's former pastor, Wilmer Smith. When Wilmer was our pastor before we entered the ministry, Wilmer made the statement one day that stuck with me and does to this day. Wilmer said, if the church would be the church it was called to be, there would be no need for welfare. There would be no need for welfare. The church, the gift of compassion, equips one to sense in others such emotions as joy, happiness, pain, and despair. And persons with the gift provide a supportive ministry. They remove the spiritual turmoil from others and bring them healing and comfort. The gift of compassion usually moves one to minister to mental and spiritual needs. Persons with the gift of compassion often feel led into a special ministry of intercessory prayer. And their work may lack earthly acclaim. But as they minister to the deep hurts of others in the Spirit of Jesus, their work never goes unnoticed. And so in conclusion of our discussion of the serving gifts, I want to share with you this thought with you. When the spiritual gifts function properly in the